the world is asking just one question tonight, viewers. What is a ceasefire in the Iran war? This given the situation in the West Asia conflict right now. Does ceasefire mean missiles raining hellfire? For days now, the world was told that a fragile truce had brought the region back from the brink. But if there is peace anywhere in the Middle East, why does it look like a war? Let's now quickly show you first what started it all. The skies over Beirut lit up once again as Israeli warplanes pounded Hezbollah-linked targets in the Lebanese capital, of course, sending shockwaves across an already volatile Middle East. Sirens wailed across northern Israel as Iran launched a missile barrage in retaliation for Israeli strikes in Beirut, marking a dramatic new chapter in the region's escalating conflict. Explosions rocked the Iranian city of Isfahan as Israel launched retaliatory strikes deep inside the Iranian territory. This also marked a dramatic escalation. Now, thousands of Iranians poured into the streets. On your screens, you can see the visuals in a powerful display of defiance and national solidarity, waving flags, chanting slogans, and demanding a forceful response to Israel's latest strike. In fact, joining us now is Dr. Richard Nathan Haass, President Emeritus of the Council on Foreign Relations, one of the world's leading voices on foreign policy and global affairs. We speak to him on the key geopolitical developments shaping the international landscape. Thank you so much, Mr. Dr. Haass, for speaking 2 times now. Now, my very first question to you would be that you have served under 4 US presidents: Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush. If we were to imagine a scenario where you would be working under President Donald Trump, what would you be telling him about America's conduct of this war and where it is now headed? And also, given the most recent escalation we have seen between Iran and Israel, what would your advice to Donald Trump be like?
Well, if I had been advising him, I would have argued against this war for many reasons, but I don't think it was a war that had to be fought at this time. I thought we had other options, and I thought there was nothing new that was unacceptable coming from Iran. But we are where we are, and quite honestly, right now, I don't like our choices. I don't think the United States has very good options. So I would say at this point to continue negotiations and try to get the strait open. It's essential also that Iran not be allowed to get a nuclear weapon. So we would have to begin the long-term negotiations of creating a new nuclear framework with Iran. So essentially, we would have to choose among imperfect choices, and that is where we are.
Absolutely, Dr. Haass. Now, I also recall a column you wrote in the month of March for the Financial Times, where, if I'm not wrong, you drew a distinction between wars of necessity and wars of choice. The first Gulf War after Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990 was a war of necessity, but this one is not. And here's how you ended the peace. It only takes one side to start a war, but here it will take all 3 to end it. That is what you wrote. And that is a prescient observation you made in March, because while Trump now seems keen to end it, it seems somewhere or the other, Iran and Israel have other ideas as well. And it was Trump and Israel that started it. Who is actually, at this point in time, calling the shots now, according to you?
No, you're exactly right. I agree with myself, and I agree with your point. It does take, in this case, 3 to end the war. again, it's something we ought to have thought through before we began this war. Iran increasingly seems disinclined to end the war. Iran seems to believe that time is on its side. It will get a better, its leverage grows with the passage of time. It will get a better deal. Possibly, but Iran is also suffering a great deal, particularly the Iranian people, the Iranian economy. So I don't think Iran has unlimited time before it agrees to end the war. What Israel is doing, for the most part, does not strike me as essential. What it is doing in Lebanon, this is, I would argue, discretionary on its part. And the United States does have a lot of influence over Israel. I realize in the last, 48 hours or so, you've had new exchanges between Iran and Israel, which complicate things, but don't change the fundamentals. I still think it largely comes down to the United States and Iran. I think part of the problem has been that the United States seems to be in a position where it needs the end of the war more than Iran. And again, it reinforces the inclination of this new Iranian leadership to hold out for a better deal. But I honestly think we'll get there ultimately. I don't think this is going to go on forever or even that much longer. Because it's in no one's interest that this continue. No, it's in no one's interest that this escalate. And for economic reasons, both the United States and Iran ultimately need a resolution of matters. So I think it's more a question of when rather than if this will come to an end.
Dr. Haas, I mean, though you say that this will not be a forever war, I ask you this because it always seemed that both Netanyahu and Donald Trump had different priorities, and those goals kept evolving over time. Do you actually believe that this latest escalation is an outcome of that very dissonance?
Well, the Israeli position for some time has been one of what you might describe as open-ended war against Iran and its proxies, against Iran directly. Israeli concerns about Iran's conventional non-nuclear forces have not gone away. They've continued its drone capabilities, its ballistic missiles. Obviously, Israel has concerns about Iran's nuclear program. Obviously, Israel has concerns about Iran's proxies, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas. So Israel's, particularly under Bibi Netanyahu, Israel's preference is to continue the war. The United States' preference is not to continue the war. Quite honestly, it's clear that the Trump administration thought this war was going to be quick and easy and successful. It has turned out to be none of those, not quick, not easy, not successful. But the United States wants an end to the war, and the United States has tremendous influence over Israel, particularly in over the next 6 months in advance of the next Israeli election. A lot of Prime Minister Netanyahu's political messaging is about his close relationship with Donald Trump. So I don't believe he's going to allow a rupture in that relationship to emerge. So again, I'm not exactly sure what you're asking me, but I think if the United States wants this war to end, its biggest problem by far is with Iran, not with Israel.
So now, what do you think that has prompted Iran's strikes on Israel? Does Iran believe it has leverage since it controls the Strait of Hormuz, which it hadn't before the 28th of February, and is now in a position to flex its muscle maybe to force Israel to back down on Lebanon? Or is Iran overall testing the waters to see with what intensity the Israelis hit back and basically jeopardize what little prospects of peace there are?
It's a good question. It could be to signal its opposition to Israeli military action in Lebanon, to tell Israel it doesn't have a free hand. It may also be to try to open up some friction or increase the friction between the United States and Israel. That's possible as well.
Dr. Haas, do you believe that Donald Trump had really made progress with Iran on the nuclear question, including the overall issue of enriched uranium? There is very little clarity on what's been agreed on at this point in time.
The answer is I think most of the progress that was made on the nuclear account was made in June. When Israel and the United States attacked the Iranian nuclear facilities. I think significant progress was made then in slowing down or setting back the Iranian program. Since then, no, I don't think there's been much if any progress militarily, and I don't believe there's been any progress diplomatically.
You know, in the past, Trump has time and again gloated about eliminating Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and is now, of course, praising his son Moshtaba for having faith in dialogue despite being injured. Now, what is, according to you, prompting Trump to climb down, basically? Is it the poor ratings back home? Is it the midterm? Is it the economic cost of the conflict he believes America is insulated against, but is actually not?
I'm not exactly sure what you're asking me. Again, I don't see it as a climb down. I think what President Trump often tries to do is put, from his point of view, the best possible framing of a situation, and he never wants to communicate that things are going wrong, and he has tremendous confidence that if he presents things in a certain way, ultimately they will turn out that way. So you know, I see his speaking about the negotiations or the conflict as a reflection of what he wants to bring about.
Well, Dr. Richard Haass, thank you so much for taking out time for Times Now. It was lovely speaking to you. And with that, viewers, it's time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.